lot of people are losing their lives, and it's not getting any better.
There's definitely been an increase in catastrophic wildfires in the last 10 years.
Destroying more houses, killing more people, and they're becoming way more expensive. We did a 1.5-year-long study on wildfire response and recovery.
FEMA is the lead agency when it comes to responding to and recovering from natural disasters.
So how is FEMA providing assistance to communities that are at risk or have already had wildfires? We did 2 in-person site visits in September 2023. The first one was to Lahaina on the island of Maui.
In Lahaina, it was a very devastating scene. The entire town was destroyed.
It's pretty much impossible to really quantify the total physical, psychological, and financial cost of something like this.
People know that we're listening and we heard their story and we saw their story, and that is part of the work that we do.
Wildfires present unique challenges because typically they destroy entire structures.
Housing is a challenge after any disaster, but can be exacerbated in wildfires.
Fires leave behind a lot of hazardous and toxic debris, not just on the land, but in the land itself.
So FEMA has to bring in the Army Corps of Engineers. It's a much more complicated thing to deal with.
We visited one town that 80% of the structures in that town had been destroyed in a 2020 fire. At this point, maybe a third of the buildings have been rebuilt, and that was 3 years after the fire. You know, some of the people that we visited and spoke to had never spoken to someone from the federal government before.
We looked at 2019 through 2023. Just the federal assistance that's gone to wildfires is about $3.8 billion. But the federal government's going to be providing funding for this for years and years to rebuild long-term infrastructure.
There are about 30 federal agencies that at any given time can be involved in these processes. And so as a disaster survivor or as a small municipal leader, it's really hard to navigate those.
This is an issue that many folks on the Hill are interested in, want to solve. We have a really extensive quality assurance process here at GAO, which I think is really important to making sure people know that they can trust what's in our report and trust our recommendations.
There is bipartisan, bicameral interest and support for the work that we're doing.
One of our recommendations has been that they need to look at some of these things and figure out how to change their policies to address the unique aspects of fire. A lot of times the FEMA help that comes after a disaster is too slow and overly complicated.
The recommendations that we're making to FEMA hopefully will help in the future.